and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Scottsburg, Indiana on this August the 22nd of 2022 in the year of our Lord. So we'll call our meeting to order, and the first thing we do is the roll call after our clerk treasurer Dan Hardy.
Mayor Amy.
Here.
Karen Grishas. Here. Tom Lewis.
Here. We're looking for an motion to approve the minutes of August 8, 2022, please.
So moved.
Tom Lewis makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Karen Grishas seconds. Now's the time for question or comments. Just commenting on your Board of Works minutes on the first page on your 2 or Edward Jones discussion there. It does say verifying the drainage plan is adequate to absorb the water coming off the property. And it said that the mayor will contact the city engineer. We did have Robbie from Heritage and Chief, how are you? Didn't see you over there, buddy. Where's Chief at? There you is. And Robbie is a drainage engineer, and he did verify that there was enough.
Good.
That there was enough there. So, just with that said, just want to make sure that's on the minutes that he was contacted. He did look at that, and he did get his stamp of approval on
For the next set of minutes.
Yeah.
Not because we didn't know that at that time.
that. Yeah, for
Yes.
the next sentence, right. So, with that said, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, thank you very much. Next thing on our agenda this evening is the approval of the emergency agreement. Jill, what is
That's
this?
Mike for your
Okay, yeah.
internet going down.
So
It should be like the third
basically,
page.
what we had is gonna be about your second or third page down there. You're gonna see, we had a gentleman who kind of built our network here, and we had issues, and those issues, we had to bring him in. And he was kind enough to come in, and we did sign an hourly contract with him. So I'm asking you to, we did get everything back up. You want to comment on that, Jim?
Yes,
That was
it was a nightmare. And it continued for a while, but I will say Stacy's team worked literally day and night. And Mike was nice enough to come back in and get us going. But city customers were out, we were out. Utility office, that put a bind on them. But they worked very hard and got it back going. And I think we're on the right track now.
So it's the issue, you know? Do you know?
You wouldn't even want me to explain it, Tom.
We can get IT.
Way above.
Anyway,
They didn't call me in, they called the professionals in.
We just want it to work, don't we,
Yes,
Jill?
yes.
Yeah, we had a tough week.
Yeah.
And just to say this, Jensen came in, clocked in 8 o'clock that morning and clocked out at 6:30 the next morning. So it was a 22 hour stint. Then he goes home at 6:30 in the morning and is back there by 10:30, 11 o'clock the next morning. So he had 4 or 5 hours sleep. So, but we have to give kudos to our IT team. They were able to get everything back up. But I do need a motion to go forward and approve the contract for that time stint. I was gonna say, do you know how many hours we had approximately?
I've done 7, was it
About
7?
7 hours worth of work. Okay, so the contract's before you.
motion.
Tom Lewis makes a motion to
I'll
approve the
second.
contract. Karen Grisham seconds that. Any other questions about this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous, thank you very much. So, that's the emergency agreement. Let's look at the waivers for the Mid-America Science Park. You know, that I'm pretty particular on that, but the thing that I look at is where our kids are concerned. Anything having to kind of do with kids, we have that on your waiver with the child abuse, domestic violence luncheon. And we have about 150 people coming, so
Is that the attorney or prosecutors?
it's prosecution.
Yeah.
So I'm asking for a waiver on that, and then you're gonna see another one that's basically one for August 28th and one for August 18th. That's where Jamie Topi has the Community Foundation for the young
Grant writers, it's
grant writers.
youth grant writing.
Youth grant writing, and they come in and they work on this, and she's teaching them how to work on this, so it's a very good cause, so.
And
And
approve them both at once.
can we do that, council?
It's up to you guys.
I make a motion to approve both, waivers.
Tom Lewis makes the motion to approve both waivers affecting our children. Is there a second? Karen Gracious seconds. Any other questions about any of this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Okay, thank you very much. The next thing is an amended lease for the Mid-America Science Park. Sam Tech came
C.
back.
You got the approval of contract from Mastercard.
I'm sorry.
With that.
Approval of contract from MassPark. Sorry. So, before we go there, then let's look down at F.
Yes.
So, if you look at F, we did receive, unfortunately, the resignation of Macy Baker. She gave that to me on, not this past Friday, but Friday before last. And Macy Baker was offered another position with another entity, and so she gave a 2-week notice. The problem is, we have 4 major events, and she has lined those up, so she is willing to come back on a contract, kind of like what Mike Guthrie here is, on those dates, to help implement those. One of them's a wedding, and, I mean, you know, unless one of you guys want to get together for the wedding, so I'm asking for your approval to, on the contract, which is going to be on. So first off, to let you know, Macy Baker did resign. I'm now jumping up to C.
Is that effective 8/26, her resignation? Will that be her last day of employment?
Friday, yes.
Friday?
So Friday, so she gave her resignation on a Friday for 2 weeks, so that Friday will be this coming Friday. So her resignation will take effect, August the 26th, 2022, at the close of the day.
And these events are after that.
These events are in September, basically. So, we don't anticipate anything past that, but to help us through those already planned events is where we need the help. And that contract is in your packet here as well. And, what questions do you have about any of that?
There's 2 or 3.
4, I think. There's a wedding, Steve Sadler has
An auction,
and a
a ride,
ride, and then there's a 4th one. What's the 4th one?
some kind of
New
big
Life,
dinner out
And
there.
their New Life International?
New
That's
Life
their big.
So you have 4 major events out there. And we always have to have a MassPark employee there, so that we can make sure that everything's being taken care of and nobody's getting out of line or things like that. So, we watch out for the city's assets. So, it's a simple agreement there. Where it's at, let me see if I can find that. So, any questions, any other questions for you?
I'll make a motion to approve that contract with Macy Baker.
Tom Lewis makes a motion to approve the contract with the Mid-America Science Park and Macy Baker.
I'll
Is
second.
there any other questions about any of that? Karen Gracious seconds, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The next thing is approval of the refund rental for the train station of 816. What's that about, Jen? Or Jan,
No, we're on D. We're on amendment of lease agreement, Mass Samtech.
sorry.
And that is Samtech met with Macy and has requested a lot more space. So she sent the agreement to Josh for the amendment. It's in your packet. Shows the square footage that it was changed to and the amount it was changed to.
That's good, and it's a lot of space.
Going from 800 per month to 4,644.50 per month.
Yeah.
Which is fine, starting September the 1st.
Starting September 1st. So So that's your amendment to the commercial lease. So,
Are we ready to sign this?
yeah,
We need to make a motion.
yeah, we have a motion
I
to,
make a motion, we
to go
approve
forward.
this amended to the commercial lease.
okay, is there a second to the amendment?
I'll second.
Karen Grisham seconds. Any questions about that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, so that lease is
We don't have to sign this. Carrie signs. Okay.
Terry signs.
Now the train depot. We,
What's
yeah,
that?
we had a family that rented, the train depot this past week, and the air
Oh,
went out, and they have contacted us. It was very hot. They had to borrow a fan, and they've requested if they could have some, if not all of their money back. So I think the mayor was in agreement. We would give them the whole $100 back.
yeah, it was warm this.
Gotta make a motion, we approve that.
Tom Rose makes the motion to approve the refund. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Karen Grisham seconds. Any other questions about that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous on there. So I got through everything on these?
Yep, your sewer adjustments and then Jan.
Okay, okay. Any questions on the sewer adjustments? Okay. Then we will go to, well, we've got one more down here. Jan, let's go ahead and have you.
And we'll do I just would be open to a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Karen Grisham makes the motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Tom seconds. Any questions about any of the claims? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 So unanimous there.
And then I will be asking for a motion. I had, on July the 25th, we approved our street sweeping contract with NDOT. And so I was waiting on them to return the approved with their signature on it. So then on Friday, that's why this was a late addition to the agenda, was I got a correspondence from them saying that the technical services has audited the current street contract and made changes. The request was submitted and the revised contract is attached. So in looking over this, I did send to Josh with what I saw as corrections. I went through all the other paragraph by paragraph, just to be sure there were no other changes. It just changes our total curb miles a little bit from 4.90 to 4.88. It does, looks like it's gonna be going up $8 or something for the year. Changed the prices just a little bit, but everything else was basically the same. So I would just be asking for, for this board to allow the mayor to sign this amended contract.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
And I'll second.
Karen, Tom Lewis makes the motion, Karen seconds. Now is there time for questions, comments? Yeah, are you going to time stamp on this, or is this in a hurry?
This is it has expired. Yeah, we don't have a signed contract with them.
I mean, is this something that we could bring up next council, the next meeting, or no? This needs to be done today.
And what's the benefit of waiting?
I need to
since
talk
we-
about something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And,
Who you want to talk to? Who you want to talk
I need to talk to Jan, I think, on this
to?
one.
Oh, okay.
So, if okay, I would,
Withdraw my motion.
I would.
Table it, that's fine.
I would like to table it, because I just had a couple of questions for you.
It might have to be directed to the state, I don't know, but we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, okay, all right. If you're okay, let's just go ahead, if we can, and put a hold on the approval of the sweeping contract with the state. Well, what do you have for us?
Nothing other than the adjustments.
Okay, okay. Chief?
Well, I let the board know that, the mayor knows he came out. We had an officer got hurt last week on a fight call at the Scott County ER. He had a bad injury and luckily it came out better than we thought. He didn't have any broke bones or sprains. He had a bad bruise when they were fighting. He landed on his duty weapon, slid over and he landed on his duty weapon. He's supposed to be back tonight, as far as I know he did, so we've got all three officers reassigned to the schools, and I'm one down right now, so our schedule's pretty tight, so the chief here worked about 4 in the morning that night, which I like working night shift every once in a while. Moved some guys around, had a little overtime, got it taken care of. So, in that same thought, we sent talked to the mayor about an applicant for the position we have open. He went Friday, we got him into his first physical and mental evaluation. And average turnaround time is 12 business days. So I don't have a name yet, and he has a full-time job right now, so he's wanting to wait until we get the results back, because of course we can't hire him unless he passes both those. And then he wants to put his 2 weeks into his present employer. So hopefully within the next board of works, or the next couple board of works, we'll have a name to you guys. It's a slow process, but I think we started on this in June or July. I think June we started on the hiring process, so.
And, let me just make a couple of comments. This young man is an excellent young man, and I'm impressed with him. The officer that we had, I mean, when the call went out, there were a bunch of officers that came on to help. And, so this man was apprehended, and I'm just sorry our officer got hurt, but he's doing well now.
It's one of those deals where it was under the influence of something, some medical issues, and they shipped him to Scott Memorial. Scott Memorial's in the city limits of Scottsburg. So this individual came from Austin, they brought him, and a lot of times it's happened to us, they become our problem. He didn't want to be treated, he wanted to fight, so they called us out. It's kind of like Walmart. We get all the shoppers at Walmart, they come from all over the county, but we deal with them. It's just part of the job. But there were 3 county officers that responded also, and they helped out while we got the officer's vehicle secured, got his duty weapon secured, got him home, took care of all that. They covered the road for us. It was about a 2-hour process getting all that taken care of. So they worked really well with us, and they took the bag out for us too. They brought a van and hauled him over to jail for us, and they did everything besides we filed the paperwork.
Thank you, Chief. Chief and I have been talking about a regional policing. Is that, no. That's what I always want to call it. Community policing. And so we've got right now about 17 officers, and we're looking at probably taking 14 of those officers maybe and having Scottsburg in 7 sections and having 2 officers per section. So those 2 officers, while they'll be patrolling all of Scottsburg, they will specifically patrol that area. And we want them to really try to get to know those residents in that area. So they're going to have a business card with their name and their email address on there, so that residents can contact them if anything's going on, even if the light's out. Also to help with our local ordinances as well. So we want to see more of an interaction with our police, with local residents. So we are looking for that as well, just give you a heads up. So good job, Chief. Thank you very much. What else do we have for this evening? Counselor?
I do not have anything.
Really? Okay. Karen, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you so very much.